Alright. I finally got out of the exhausting day of school. Got all my homework done. I can finally relax. Hopefully it didn't jinx anything like the other times it did. You would think I learned by now. I could finally relax and... Oh, my phone's going off. I think it's John that wants to complain about, I don't know, offense movesets and all the stuff for Monica's smashes and all that stuff. He really didn't like that. Hello? Nope, not dealing with that today. I just slammed my phone on the ground. Alright. Now I can relax. Finally. Oh, my phone's going off again. Oh, it's a different phone number. Yeah. Let's see who it is. Hello? Who is this? Hello? Yes? What favor do you want? I'll do anything for you. Well, actually, I did, but, I don't mind remaking it. Okay, bye-bye. Warning! This moveset may have unsettling themes from Doki Doki Literature Club and the series revolving around it. There may be major spoilers about both Doki Doki Literature Club and Sayori's hidden personality as well. Viewers have been warned and advised. So, Sayori, one of the main characters from Doki Doki Literature Club, and who is also the bubbly, cheerful high schooler from, Doki Doki Literature Club. Or so you think. Actually, it is what you think, except for one hidden personality later on. I'll explain more of that in a minute. Sayori is the reason why you even joined the literature club in the first place after asking you to join. Originally to make you happy. Yep. Is that a good thing? Of course not, because she's actually depressed. Oof. And of course, depression is pretty, not great. She's also very clumsy and very resourceful at times. But unfortunately, I'm going to spoil this later on in Act 2. She does happen to hang herself, just making everyone happy, and she thinks that she shouldn't exist, as she'll think it'll make other people happy. Of course, no one thought this is happy. If anyone from Doki Doki, if anyone played Doki Doki or just watch it, either way, and thought this was a good thing, you're messed up. Luckily, I don't think anyone thought that. So, now explained with all that, let's get into the moveset. Now, and also another reason why Sayori should be in Smash compared to Monica. Most people think about Monica, but I think Sayori should be deserving, as she is also the other main character. And of course, I'm not counting Yuri Natsuki. You say this for, but these are like the two main characters. I think even Doki Doki Literature Club itself, or Team Salvio, thinks that these two are the main characters. No one else, not even the protagonist. These two are the main characters. No one gives a crap about who you are, apparently. Now, getting into things. Sayori beats lightweight with 2 jumps, and as you may think, she'll not have any additional move options. Now then, I have thought about this a few days back, and I thought about redoing some Doki Doki movesets. I figured the thing is, and this is a concept remake, the main concept difference between these movesets and the movesets I did in the past is that I noticed that none of the Doki Doki Literature Club characters never really fight. Except for Natsuki, okay, maybe. But this isn't Natsuki's remake, this is Sayori's remake. So, now getting into the jab. The jab can happen have her look at her notebook, writing some stuff down. Probably because tomorrow is the next poem report, and we need to get that done because it will be embarrassment to not get it done. What she's writing? Well, it's her preferred words, of course. This would have her summon the words pretty rapidly, summoning her preferred words, kind of like that. This jam could go on forever, and the words do deal damage, of course, and they stop after you let go of the trigger. Now, for the dash attack, this would be a little obvious for you Doki Doki geeks like me. Based on Sayori's personality, we can have her trip and fall right on her face. Now, however, this move isn't the greatest move in this moveset. Of course, the dash attack is never. It's a little weak, or weaker than a usual dash attack, but the thing is, it will double damage if Sayori lands right on top of the foe. Because no one likes that. No one likes to be squished right on top by someone. It's just a pain. Now her side tilt, we can have a piece of paper and use it with scissors. This would hit 3 times, and yeah, this does take 2 seconds for the move to actually be done. But if you desperately need to end the move, you can use shield or grab to cancel it. I repeat, use shield or grab to cancel the side tilt. Otherwise, this move is pretty powerful. I'll say a fair amount of damage, just like 3 damage per hit, so a max of 9 to 10 damage. This is mainly based on Sayori's craftsmanship, and you can even see right here, there are some scissors. Yeah. Now for her up tilt, we can have her cheer upwards. Once again, based on her personality, her bubbly and cheerful personality, or so you think, we can have her cheer upwards, kind of posting like this. And however, this does only hit 2 sides of her. Yep. This is a nice double hitting horizontal thing, and it'll probably be useful to hit 2 foes that are just about to land on you. Now for the down tilt, we have her drop some yarn. And yeah, the yarn is pretty bouncy. And then once the yarn stops bouncing, it will just roll. Now, the yarn is an item. It can be picked up and used as a projectile. However, the yarn itself does really minor damage. And yes, it may damage Sayori. But I say the damage it actually does is about like 1 damage. The thing is, the yarn can be very annoying, as it may cancel out other moves and may deal flinchy damage. But I say it only deals like 0.5% of damage. It's incredibly weak. It is also pretty bouncy and can also bounce off walls or the ground or other foes. Now the side smash, we can have her not paying attention as she looks at her book or a poem notebook and trips, having her legs hit upwards and then falls, hitting from behind. This is a 2-hitting smash. I wouldn't say it's a down smash. I have something else planned for that. And also, the first hits, or the first hitbox, also deals more damage than the back. However, this could also knock off foes off ledges, or if the foe's trying to recover, this could, not guaranteed, but could spike foes downwards. Of course, they could recover from this, unless they're pretty deep, or pretty deep below under the stage. but this is also risky. If Sayori does the side smash right next to her ledge, once she trips over, she could knock off the ledge, and that makes her a tiny bit vulnerable. Yes, you may recover it, but then it also may be a little risky if other foes spike you downwards. But I think that would only happen if you're playing with more than one other person. The up smash, however, works like this up tilt, but a little different. One thing is she's jumping upwards this time. Now, the other, which is the main difference, is that you see this hitbox, it hits all around, unlike the up tilt. One thing is that her head will actually deal damage, and her hands will also deal damage. It does have a little bit more range, as she's actually jumping upwards compared to her up tilt. Finally, her down smash would have her accidentally drop her book, or notebook, and the notebook works as a projectile. This is more likely working a lot like Villager's down smash, as it may kick foes off ledges if the projectile lands on them. I'll say the notebook would be a little bit heavy, but not too heavy. Not as heavy as Villager's down smash, because, well, his down smash is a bowling ball. But it could definitely spike foes downwards. Of course, Sayori will recover her book back if it falls off ledges. Otherwise, this is also a one-hit attack. That's why I did the side smash, a two-hitting move. And I guess that's all you really need to explain with the down smash. Now, her neutral air, we can have her write some more stuff in her notebook, and having her summon her preferred words around her. The words are, once again, hit points and would hit all around her. The side air, we can have her throw a paper airplane, which, yeah, we could assume, since she's kind of paper crafty, we can assume that she's able to make paper airplanes. The thing is, a special thing about the paper airplane that most projectiles aren't able to do is that the paper airplane may not be reflected. This is mainly because, this is the real world logic, if you throw a paper airplane in a wall or anything, the paper airplane would stop gliding. So because of this, it cannot be reflected, and maybe it can be used. I would like to see if the villager or Isabel is able to, well, grab it with its neutral special or down special, either one. Then yes, it can be reflected back, because, well, they can just throw it. But of course, this would just, no. It would disappear afterwards. It cannot be used again. It would disappear, and that's that. This also can glide pretty far range, and I mean very far range. I mean, this can go all across the stage if it wants. And the glide kind of works how Steve's up special is. Just the gliding part, though. Then again, it's not up special, and this is a projectile that cannot be reflected. Now, for the back air, we have her throw a yarn. Once again, we're having a yarn involved. Now, the yarn will work the same thing as an item, like I explained for the down tilt. But let's just shorten this up into few words. Bouncy, may be grabbed, may be thrown back, minor damage, and that's that. The up air could have her throw another yarn upwards. However, if this does not hit a foe, then one, it'll land right back to her if it's directly down to her. She would either, one, catch it, which is not likely actually, or two, it would hit her on the head. Now, actually, it'll do even more minor damage, about like 2% damage on Sayori than if it hits the foe. Like I said, this could knock foes down or uppers pretty easily and can be caught, as it does do very minor damage and also can cancel out moves pretty easily. Finally, for the down air, based on the picture we saw from the before that I mentioned for the side tilt, we can throw some boxes. Yep. All three of the boxes would just drop as a projectile, working a lot like Steve's anvils, but there's three of them and it's pretty weak. They'll all just fall down, and yeah, all three of these boxes are projectiles. Alrighty. Now, a most unexpected thing you would see in Smash, Sayori would grab the foe by hugging the foe. Yeah, she really cares about her foes in Smash. Which is surprising because no one cares about anyone in Smash except for themselves. Apparently, this doesn't matter for Sayori because I don't think she even cares about herself. So, Sayori would hug the foe for a grab, and the foe would be pretty confused because, well, no one would do that. It would pummel by hugging harder. The side throw, we got the foe back away because they can't take this kindness anymore, but then falls, landing forwards. Yes, this may kick foes off the ledges, and the foe would have to recover, which gives you a chance to spike the foe downwards. Now, the back throw, we have Sayori just continue hugging the foe, swinging them around, give them some more kindness. But then she accidentally let goes, and the foe just fly backwards. The up throw, we have Sayori hug the foe so hard that the foe launches upwards, just slipping out of her hands. And the down throw, we have Sayori accidentally trip by hitting the foe's legs, if they have legs. I don't know any foe that doesn't have legs, but causing the other foe to trip as well. A little risky to use on ledges for Sayori. If she's on the ledge, Sayori would fall off. But if the foe is off the ledge while using this move, the foe would, well, fall off the ledge. Okie dokie. For Sayori's neutral special, we have something that you mainly do in Doki Doki Literature Club: write poems. Yep. Poem writing is pretty, well, basic. I want to say basic, but a little bit basic in the game, and you do it quite oftenly. So, for the neutral special, have her slightly write anything would have her summon one hitbox, which does minor damage. But keep charging it up. This would mean Sayori would keep writing, which makes her summons even more words. This is at mid charge, and it does have 3 hitboxes and does more damage. And finally, I didn't put this down, but you'll get the concept. If you pull it on full charge, it will summon 5 hitboxes, dealing a lot of damage. This is at full charge, and the full charge takes about, let's say, 3.5 seconds. How about that? Now, for the side special, we can ever use a rope. I would like to call this move the hanging rope. This move will have her throw the rope as a lasso, attaching to the foe's neck, bringing the foe to her. The foe would have to strangle out of the rope, and this would take the foe 1 second to strangle out, as it gave Sayori time to either 1, just taunt the foe, pissing them off, or 2, attack the foe, using it as their advantage. This is pretty long range. This has pretty far range. And you may be wondering, why a rope? Well, let's just say this move is based on Sayori's hanging rope that we actually seen her use, which she somehow got a rope. Pretty suspicious. And no, I can't say Monica actually hanged her. First of all, that would just be cruel even for Monica. I don't think she would actually do that. And 2, it's definitely possible to hang yourself. And 3, of course, Monica didn't just hack the files making her doing it. She just made her more depressed. Gee, thanks, Monica. Thanks for killing my favorite character in Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, for the up special, we can have a glitch. Theory behind this is based on Act 4. Doki Doki Literature Club, we've seen Sayori gain self-awareness like Monica. Now, have we seen her glitch of any chance? No, because the glitching effect and hacking was mainly based on Monica the entire game. No, but we have seen Sayori delete the entire game. Like, what the heck? Doing it so you won't get hurt by Monica, even though you probably deleted her. I don't know how that's even possible. But she deleted the whole game so she can't return. Once again, a theory. You know what Doki Doki Literature Club should do? Is Sayori didn't delete the game. I just found this out recently, like 2 days ago, that Sayori deletes the game. But before, I thought, well, why doesn't Doki Doki Literature Club just continue? If Sayori's now Monica, since she's the new president of the Literature Club, this would probably be pretty interesting to see. But I guess Doki Doki Literature Club did before. Literature Club Plus did before instead of after the present or the first game. Finally, and this was John's idea, I actually thought this was pretty good, is the down special. I would like to call this the paper trap. This will have Sayori accidentally drop some paper without her noticing. Now, what would the paper exactly do? Well, paper can be slippery at times. Have to admit, have you ever slipped on paper? Well, I have. I have slipped on paper before. It's not pretty, and I fell on my back, and it was pretty painful. Using this as a move, the attack will work a lot like Diddy Khan's down special, as he summons a banana, but he throws it. Sayori drops it right in front of her. But anyone, I mean even Sayori, can trip on this, so be aware with that. You probably want to move away from the piece of paper. The max limits, I say, because Sayori can damage herself from this, it doesn't really help you as much as it doesn't help the foe. I'll give a max of 3 pieces of paper. Now, the paper are pretty small. They're a tiny bit noticeable. They're technically like snake mines. But it'll be kind of fair. You don't want, I say 3 so you don't just cover the whole stage. And once the paper all disappears, you have let's say a 7-second cooldown to summon a new piece of paper. Now then, we got the specials done. Let's get into the final smash. I mentioned earlier, back in the up special, that Sayori did delete the entire game. I'll be using this for the final smash, and you'll be probably thinking, this is just broken. Well, let me explain. First off, this is a cutscene. This will damage everyone. No dirt, because it's the entire game. As Sayori will first appear on the screen, and then a glitch screen. This does really minor damage to foes, as it does barely any damage. Let's say about 20 damage to foes. But the thing is, in the main tactic of the final smash, if any of these opponents are at, let's say, I don't want to say 80, let's make it 75% damage, then the foe will be deleted. Now, like I said, this damage everyone since the entire game. If multiple foes are above 75% damage, they can also be deleted. So I suggest, if you're not on stock or FS Masters, if you use a Smash Ball, I suggest saving it until you get knocked out, because then you can't use it. Save it until at least multiple foes, or just one foe, I don't care, you're using Sayori. Use this Final Smash when most players are at 75% damage. It'd be very useful. And I guess that's it. Now then, Sayori's ult would have her have a kind of like a purplish gray coat, let's just say, with her blue dress and her gold shirt. We could have her hair color be this color, whatever that is, and I guess most of the things would stay the same. The dress would never change along with her shirt. the things that will change the most would be her coat and her hair. The next alt could have a darker dye color with her hair, but a grayer coat as well. This is based on Monica's appearance. Of course, the coat is just purely based on no reason, but the hair is based on Monica. The next alt, we can have a grayer coat with pink hair based on Natsuki. The fourth alt, we can have her have purple hair and in a black shirt based on Yuri. The fifth alt, we can have her have everything be the same except for her coats, which would be white. This isn't really based on anything. I just think this should be an alt. The sixth alt would be her casual clothes as we have seen her wear out of school, which would be a pink shirt and blue jean shorts. The seventh alt, which would be kind of similar to the sixth alt, but we can have her have a white sweatshirt and red sweatpants. This is mainly based on Sayori's appearance and clothing, as we've seen when she got hung. And finally, this is one of my favorite alts. I think this is the funniest too. It'd be kind of nice because it all represents the taunt, which I'll explain in a minute. The final alt, we can have her have a cow costume. This is mainly based on the Halloween photo that Doki Doki Literature Club put in for Happy Halloween, and Sayori appeared to have a cow costume. I just think this would be pretty nice and funny. Now, speaking of cows, her taunt, we can have her snuggle cow. This is based on one, Monica's birthday image 2020, as we see in a virtual call of Sayori just hugging a stuffed animal cow. And two, we have just seen a stuffed animal cow in the background of Sayori's room in the game. The next taunt, we can have her just do this pose based on one of her sprites in Doki Doki Literature Club. This is her sprite when she's embarrassed, and I guess that's that. Finally, her last taunt, we have her gaze at a cookie and then eat it quickly. This is kind of based on how she's able to just get food when she wants it, taking advantage of it. That's a little sneaky. I don't even do that. I just take food. Probably shouldn't say that because my parents could watch it. Anyways, and that's kind of the reference. So let's get into the victories. The victory, starting the first one, we can have her wave at the screen and continue to wave at the screen, even with the announcer just says her name. Wow, that took a minute to think about. Her second victory, we can have just do the sprite post based on a chibi on sprites in Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. As she just does this, and then jumps up and celebrates as a victory. As she won, which is kind of nice. Of course, anyone would not want to lose. Of course, everyone's happy about winning. And finally, her... Oh, I forgot to say, I did this last video. Just imagine, she just says he, and I forgot to say, I said this last. This is actually secretly a remake. I took down the last one. I forgot to say there was a joke I was going to say. I'm sorry I messed this up, and I'm too far to redo this now. She does say he a lot, and the victory is going to have her say he at the end. Almost as often as the pirates say nah ha ha. Now to the joke. Just imagine. I mean, Sayori and Papyrus would be great friends. You have to admit. Just having Papyrus say nah at the same time of Sayori saying he. I mean, wow. If Doki Doki Literature Club had a crossover with Undertale, that would be cool. Finally, the final victory, we gotta just think of stuff she needs to write about her poem, because she still needs to write down reports with her poem for her literature club. But then looks at the screen and looks pretty surprised and then smiles at the screen. But then a little bit afterwards, she just continues to look at her book, think of ideas. If you stay into it, then Sayori would actually have an idea and would actually write some stuff down as her tongue just sticks out. And that's it. That's what Sayori was in Super Smash Bros. Gee, that was enjoyable. I did mention that Sayori was my favorite Doki Doki Literature Club character. Who doesn't like Sayori? I mean, my crush is technically like Sayori in the game. I mean, never mind. Now, please, if you haven't, please consider subscribing. Or just do it. It'll kind of be easy to just do it if you haven't. If you want to help us even more, I mean, it's not as helpful as subscribing, but it's 10 times more helpful than thumbs downing this video. Please thumbs up this video. I don't care that much, but I just had to say it. If you have any requests, then please put it down in the comments or any of the servers we had listed in our channel banner. And finally, if you want to keep track of any of our movesets, then please click the bell on our channel. Of course, this would give you an automatic thing that they will give you notifications once we upload a video, just so you can stay on track. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoy this video. Now, so long.